Hi friends, the most common thing that any interviewer is going to ask you at the very beginning of an interview is, tell me something about yourself. Now this question is so obvious and yet so frightening to most of us. In today's interview, we will see, friends, how you should introduce yourself in English at a formal setup or setting. How you should, respond to this query, tell me something about yourself. We will see that in today's video step by step, and we will, see, friends, how we should actually prepare a small self-introduction. Yes, beforehand and before going to face an interview. So that will really help us to stay one step ahead of, the competition there. So, and it's very important to, look confident. That's very important. So we should be a little prepared with the self-introduction. Now friends, there is no need to memorize it, because it's after all about you, and you know yourself the best. Yes, but you should only know the points, what points you need to cover. Yes, in your self-introduction. That should be clear to you. And then you'll be able to speak confidently in front of those people who are going to conduct the interview. So friends, let's get started. Do subscribe to my channel and share this video. So friends, how are you going to introduce yourself at a formal setup? Here we are talking mainly about, facing an interview. So friends, the whole process or the whole self-introduction that you're going to put forward there, we can divide that into 9 steps. Okay, we can make it a 9-step process. So friends, we will go step by step. So what are those 9 steps? The first step, greeting. First, you should greet the interviewer or interviewers. Usually, there are at least 2 people or more than 2. Sometimes there are many people also at an interview. Sometimes there are 6, more than 6. Sometimes there is a whole panel of interviewers. You don't know. But usually, at least 2 people are there usually. Or there may be 1 person, whatever. If there is 1 person, then you will definitely say, how will you greet the person? You will greet the person with a smile and say, good morning, sir or ma'am. Please look at the time of the day. If it's morning, say morning. If it's afternoon, say good afternoon. So that you have to be careful about. And friends, if there are a number of people there at the interview board, like there are many people who are going to conduct your interview, then you can say a very good morning to all the respected panelists. That is a very good thing to say, because now you cannot say good morning to each and every one. Yes, so friends, you can say a very good morning or a very good afternoon to all the respected panelists. You can say that. Yes? Then friends, after that, what you should do? After that, like greeting is over, then we go to the next step. What is the second step? The second step is your name. Yes, here you have to mention your name. Not just your name, but also the place of residence, your place of residence. That also you have to mention. Yes, so how will you say? You should say, for example, I am Hrishitaa Das. You should mention your full name, friends, at an interview. So you should say, I am Hrishitaa Das from Navi Mumbai. Or you can say, I am Hrishitaa Das. I live in Navi Mumbai. So you can say that when you introduce your name, like when you mention your name and the place of your residence. Okay, So you can say that I'm Hrishitaa Das from Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. Just say that much. And then you can just, if you want, you can just say a thank you to them. I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to come here and face the interview. Or you can say, I thank you all for accepting my application for the post of English teacher at your institution. So this is just an example. So I thank you all for accepting my application for the post of English teacher at your institution. So that is, just a brief step number 2, where you will mention your name, the place of your residence, and you will just thank them for giving you the opportunity to face the interview and for accepting your application. That is number 2. Let us go to step number 3. Step number 3 is your position and company. What is that, friends? That means, what is your current position? If you are working, then you are an employee at a particular organization, yes, at a particular institution. So you will mention that. What is your current position that you have to mention? And friends, what is the name of that company or organization where you work? That also you should mention. So that is the third step, position and company. Yes. So for example, you can say that I am an English teacher at so and so college in Jorhat, Assam, for example. Or you can say, I am an English teacher at so and so college in Navi Mumbai. Suppose you work in Navi Mumbai. Wherever you work, wherever the college is located, you mention that. So this is just an example. Where you are working, you just mention that. Yes. Then friends, let us go to the 4th step. What is the 4th step? Experience. So how many years of experience you have? So as an employee, or how many years of relevant work experience you have, that also you need to mention. So you can say accordingly whatever experience. Say for example, you can say like that, I have 5 years of teaching experience. I have 5 years of teaching experience at a degree college in Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. So I have 5 years of teaching experience at a degree college in Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. That means how many years of experience? So here I am just talking about the post of a teacher, or you are an English teacher. So this is just an example for you to understand. You could have been, this could be an interview for any other job. It could be an interview for a banker, for the position of a banker, or for the position of an accountant. It could be an interview for the position of a manager, for any position. So I'm just giving you an example here that say for example, this is an interview for the position of English teacher. It's just an example. So friends, you will mention your years of experience. How many years of teaching experience in this case you have? Now, whatever work experience you have, so how many years of work experience, if at all you have, you need to mention. Even if you have 6 months work experience, you should mention that. Okay. Now friends, let us go to the next point, that is point number 5. Point number 5 is qualifications. Now friends, if you are a fresher, then definitely you are not going to mention point number 4, where you mentioned about your current position, where you're working, and for which company or organization you're working. That you are not going to mention if you're a fresher. Then you will have to directly go to point number 5. And suppose you're working somewhere and you are already working at a particular place or for a particular organization, then also definitely you have to mention your qualifications. So qualifications, that is step number 5. So for example, here I can say that I am an MA PhD in English, or you can say that I have done my master's and PhD in English literature. You can say that depending on the subject in which you have done master's or PhD. So you can just mention that. That is your qualification. If you're an MBA, you'll mention that. If you're an MTech, you'll mention that, depending on your qualification. So friends, these are the first 5 steps. Then we'll go to the next step. There are 4 more steps after this. Okay? Friends, now let us go to the 6th step. Step number 6. Step number 6 is family. Now this is optional. If you feel like mentioning about your family, you mention. But friends, our family represents our roots. Yes, it also shows our loyalty. Yes, it also shows where we come from. Yes, our roots, our identity. So you should mention, I believe, that, just in one line you can mention. Say for example, I live with my parents and 2 younger sisters. That's it. Just mention that. Now, after you're done with the self-introduction, the interviewer might ask you a few more questions about your family. Then you answer. They might ask you a little more about your father's profession or anything. And then you can elaborate on that later on. But during the self-introduction, you just keep it short. Yes, I live with my parents and my younger sisters. For example, this is just an example. Then quickly let us go to step number 7. That is your hobby. Hobby or hobbies. Friends, don't mention too many hobbies. Here also just say it in brief. And see to it that, the hobby that you mention, definitely it should be, genuinely it should be your hobby. And see how you can, use that, hobby. How you can, connect that, hobby to some inner quality which you have. If you can do that, if your hobby can bring out some inner strength or quality that you have, then it will be an added advantage for you. So friends, how you should mention? How will you talk about your hobby? For example, I love painting. I really enjoy painting in my spare time because painting enables me to express my innermost self in the most beautiful and meaningful manner. It also enables me to reflect deeply on life in general, and painting is a kind of meditation for me. So just in brief, you say what your hobby is and why you like that particular hobby. You mention that so that it also brings out some quality that you have. Yes, and so that it may enhance your personality. Yes, that is also important. Then friends, after hobby, let us go to point number 8. Point number 8 is your skills. Whatever skills you have, yes, that you should mention. Skills that are relevant to the post for which you have applied. Yes, that also friends. So that point number 8 is actually the point which is going to wind up the whole self-introduction actually. You're going to wind up your introduction by mentioning this point number 8 actually. This is a crucial point. So this point also will, kind of give them a clue why they should hire you, or actually you are indirectly trying to, trying to say why they should hire you. So because of those relevant skills or skill that you have, yes, whatever that skill may be, or some skills, relevant skills you have. So because of that, you are so eligible for this particular post for which you have applied, and that is why they should hire you. That is why they should give you that job. So friends, whatever skills you have. Suppose you have computer skills, suppose you have knowledge of computer basics, you know certain computer languages, Java and etc. Whatever computer languages, if you know, you should mention whatever skills you have. Then friends, suppose you have communication skills, you are good at spoken English or written English. So whatever skills you have, if you have public speaking skills, you don't hesitate, you should mention. So whatever skills you have, you should mention, and see to it that it is somehow relevant to the post for which you have applied. Now, and friends, here when you mention the skills, you can also say, you can also talk about a little about some extracurricular activity that you were engaged in recently. You may talk about that, or you can talk about some recent project that you have done. If you have done any recent project, you can mention that. So that also will show the skills that you have. So in point number 8, actually, you will talk about your skills, but then if you can prove that yes, you have those skills, supposing you say that I am a good communicator, I have good communication skills in English, for example, you say that, and then you say that I recently presented a seminar paper at an international conference on English literature. So that again proves that you have good communication skills. So whatever skills you have, friends, if you can validate that with the help of some project that you were engaged in, with the help of some meaningful co-curricular activity that you were engaged in recently. Yes, maybe you attended some workshop on literature or on any other subject, depending on the post that you have applied for. You attended a workshop, maybe you attended a conference, national or local conference, maybe you attended a seminar. It could be anything, a seminar, a conference, a workshop, whatever you attended, or any orientation program you had attended. Mention that whatever you attended, whatever has enabled you to enhance your skills, you have to mention that I attended this. Or maybe recently you did some project, you did some work on something, or maybe you are still doing some research on a particular area. You need to mention that. So that is the 8th point. And you will say that, for example, you can say that in this case, you're applying for the post of English teacher, say for example, then you can say that I recently participated in an international seminar where I presented a paper, and I have used my paper was it was adjudged one of the best papers in the entire in the seminar. And I was also like I can use my presentation skills, I can use my knowledge of audiovisual teaching aids, audiovisual aids that I used during the presentation at the international seminar. So I can use those audiovisual aids, I can use digital aids also to teach students in a better way. So I can make use of digital aids, I can make use of audiovisual aids. So I can do that to teach students in a better way in today's context. So I'll be able to use them to enhance my teaching skills and to help students in a more meaningful way if I'm given the opportunity to work with your organization or institution. So that also you can mention. Yes, friends. So that is the 8th point. So you have given them a clue, or as to why they should hire you. So you have tried to put forward your candidature in the best possible way, and you have introduced yourself also. Yes, in a very brief yet in a very apt and meaningful way. And the final step, obviously, that is step number 9, is thank you. Do not forget to thank them. Even after you're done with the self-introduction, you need to look at them, at all of them. You need to look at them, and you need to maintain eye contact also, even during the self-introduction and even while you thank them in the end. So you just need to say thank yous thank you all. Yes, just you can say that much. Thank you all. If there are many of them, then you should say thank you all. And if there are only 2 people, then you can say thank you sir, thank you ma'am. So you should thank even after you're done with the self-introduction. So friends, these were the 9 steps which you need to keep in mind during your self-introduction. So you please keep these 9 steps in mind, then you will never be afraid of introducing yourself in a formal setup. You'll never be you'll never hesitate to introduce yourself confidently while facing an interview. So friends, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed today's session. See you next time with yet another meaningful video on spoken English or on English grammar. So stay tuned and do subscribe to my channel and share this video. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.